Can you befriend a beast? Rupert and his young ward Donovan were walking through the park near sunset. It had been a long day, and they were enjoying the atmosphere of the park they went to during the week after Rupert's job and Donovan's schooling. They were both taking a stroll until they saw a poster with a very striking drawing. It had a shaggy dog with a mouth like a crocodile and looked like it was coming right at Donovan with malicious intent in its ferocious eyes. Donovan took a step back and said, "That dog is the worst imaginable beast. Someone should lock it up." Rupert rolled his eyes. "Oh, it might just be some over-dramatization, to say the least. Maybe it was just play." A girl nearby made a sour face when she heard what they were talking about, but her mother pointed to her nose to confirm Rupert's theory on the matter. As they walked away, Donovan said, "Maybe he just needs help with something. I hope somebody finds out what he needs help with." Rupert thought for a moment before speaking. "Donovan, you can't wait for others to get stuff done for you. If you want them done dirt cheap, you have to do them yourself. We must think of a way to capture this beast ourselves." As the sunset in that evening at the park came to a close, they were getting hungry and decided the place to plan would be at home after a warm meal. Rupert fixed Donovan's favorite meal, and they both sat down to eat while formulating a winning plan. They were recounting what they were going to do tomorrow to prepare for meeting the beast. As they both had supper, you can't make a plan on an empty stomach, after all. The two began to form a plan. "I don't want us or anybody else to be in danger when they go to our lovely park. We need to sort out this beast business," Rupert said with authority. "It would be nice not to worry," Donovan nodded, "but how do we take down a beast?" "It is very simple, Donovan. I'm going to use my secret weapon to bring this beast to its knees." "I don't want to hurt it, but I do want it to be subdued. Can we do that while destroying its will to terrorize?" Rupert nodded and said with a wink, "That's the plan, and we'll leave all park goers alone for the rest of time." The guardian and his young charge went early to the park the next morning on what Rupert called beast hunting. Both were determined to make the park safe again. "So," Donald asked timidly, "the plan is to find the beast, and you're going to make it stop being a beast? How are you going to do that?" Rupert patted his shirt pocket. "With something special in here to take the beast out of the park once and for all." Donovan was scared but marched onward with his caretaker, knowing that Rupert would keep him safe no matter how vicious the beast was. The two walked for some time. Donovan grew tired and had to sit down. He found a nice big log they hadn't seen before. It must have been new to the park. He sat down, put his back up against it, and said, "This log is soft. It must be an old one." Rupert was looking around for the beast. He turned to look back at his companion. His face dropped, and he said, "Stay still, Donovan." Donovan couldn't fathom why his guardian was so anxious. Perhaps he was just as tired as Donovan. "Huh, it's a very cozy log to come down and sit on," Donovan said, chipper. He then patted the log next to him. The log then moved, and Donovan could hear a low growl coming from it. Donovan jumped up and rushed to his protector. A large dog slowly unfurled like a long serpent and became a Titanic-sized canine. It definitely wouldn't have fit in a normal doghouse, to say the least. The beast turned its massive head and looked at the two with piercing eyes, laying out a loud bark that sounded like an angry motorcycle engine. Rupert sat in front of Donovan, and the boy darted behind his protector, panicking, and said, "I don't want it to eat us. What are we going to do now?" Rupert kept staring at the mammoth mutt and said, "Don't worry, Donovan. I have my secret weapon locked and loaded, ready to blow the beast away." Donovan covered his ears while Rupert reached into his pocket. Donovan hoped it was a genie lamp or something of that nature, because he didn't know what else could have saved them from the massive creature. The beast lumbered forward, its mouth agape, and didn't take its eyes off Rupert for a second. Rupert, in return, didn't take his eyes off of the beast. He slowly reached into his pocket like a cowboy at a sunset showdown, making the beast look quizzically at his opponent. Donovan kept his eyes on the beast to see if it was ready to pounce. He held his breath while Rupert reached into his pocket. Rupert dug out a small plastic bag and slowly opened it up. The beast stiffened at the scent coming in the bag, waiting to see what this person would produce from it. Donovan's mouth hung open in astonishment and fear. He knew the smell well. What are those going to do in this situation? At the last moment of the standoff, Rupert pulled out 3 steak skewers and acted like he was going to throw one at it, asking, "Are you just hungry?" Similarly, the beast's eyes softened, and he anxiously waited his new treat. Rupert slowly walked over to the beast and asked in a low voice, "Can you lay down for me?" The beast complied and laid down on his knees. "Told you I could get him to his knees," said Rupert with a knowing glance at Donovan. Rupert had a closer look at Donovan. It seemed like he was just a hungry stray. Nothing more, nothing less. "How did you come to know this would be effective against such a scary beast?" Donovan asked, shocked. Rupert grinned. "When I was a garbage man, I would go out to get customers' trash in the outskirts of our town," he continued. "I wasn't allowed to use pepper spray, and I needed to get creative. The failure to do so would be worse than any pink slip. They were often big dogs, and to get by them, I'd bring beef jerky or dog treats. Then they would leave me alone if I fed them. Some of them even let me pet them. Donovan got closer to the beast. What makes you think to do that? Rupert looked at his son and told him simply, Donovan, we live in a world where not everybody has a heart or a brain. But what is the one thing we all have? Donovan pondered before answering, well, every day I seem to get hungry, and many people seem to have the same issue. Exactly. Everybody has a stomach, and we need to fill it. That's what makes us alive, he replied, nodding and added as a sort of other, we feed more of the things we don't want and starve the things we want. Being contradictory to a fault is part of human nature. Sometime after the taming of the large creeper, Reacher, Rupert and Donovan were walking the former beast, who was now named Buford, enjoying the park as they always had. Buford was a well-meaning dog, and only had his treats given by his loving owners. Fully throwing off the moniker of the beast tile he formerly occupied. Two were walking back toward the entrance of the park and found the little girl with her mother. The girl yelped and asked, what is the beast doing here? Buford looked at her happily and barked enthusiastically. The mother smiled back at the dog. Rupert piped up. He goes by Buford now, and I think the only reason you don't like him is that he caught you with food you weren't supposed to have. Correct? The child looked huffy, and the mother stated, she was trying to sneak food before dinner, and the beast caught her, so I immediately grabbed her for her misdeeds. I figured. She must have drew that picture that was in front of the park. A very misleading thing to do, to say the least, Rupert said with a sly smile on his face. Donovan adds, the poster was made to scare people and make people not want to help him. He's homeless and long not being able to eat. The girl's face softened. Well, I guess I acted bratty and learned to know that I can't get my way by lying. Can I pet the Buford? Go ahead. He's probably just to be heard. He's not so bad once he got food in his belly. Then who is really themselves when they're hungry? Rupert said with a smile.